Adam, good to see you.
Likewise.
And enjoyed the movie because it's one of those I didn't, read up on it before I watched it. I figured, let me watch it. It'll be a surprise. I think, okay, it's going to be you. You're going to be mentoring like some kid, to be a detective. But it was really intriguing and just this really kind of like great ride to go along with, just seeing him as a kid as this detective, but then as an adult, just kind of like looking for cats to begin with, right?
Yeah. Trivial stuff.
Right. And then fortunately, Sophie's character comes along and she's got this mystery she wants him to solve. And it just kind of like got him all regenerated and
Yeah.
ready to go out there and really check things out more, right?
Yeah. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, because it's a brutal murder, and
Yeah.
so therein lies some of the comedy and juxtaposition, and he's very much in over his head, and yeah, I mean, for me, this movie, what it does very well is walks this tightrope of sort of innocence and humor and yet dark subject matter, and eventually taking a more in-depth look at that and the repercussions of that. And so it really balances a lot pretty deftly, in my opinion.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. Because like you said, of course there are humorous moments in the movie, but then like you said, there are others where it just gets really serious. But it just the whole story itself, it was just fascinating to follow along. Because got to say certain things that happen, no one's going to say, "Oh, Adam, I saw that. I knew that was going to happen."
Yeah.
No, not even close.
Yeah. Well, that's a testament to my friend and collaborator, Evan Morgan, who wrote and directed it. We tried to get this movie made for about 5 years.
Oh wow.
So I've been with the screenplay a long time and have believed in it and loved this story and loved his voice as a writer so much. It's so specific, and the screenplay is so well crafted. And to finally be on set doing it was such a dream come true that I thought would almost never come eventually. And then to be now talking to you and have made the movie we want to make, it's a true thrill. It's an honor.
And also, right, because you're one of the executive producers of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also got to be great to hear the term, you can see it in theaters.
Well, it is, and it's weird, given the time where, it's a very weird, and I don't even know too much what they're thinking, but it's a weird time, it's this little movie, and it's going on, as I understand it, 850 screens, because on a moment's notice, mind you,
Right.
like a week and a half notice, because unfortunately they're sitting empty right now. And so there's that opportunity. So it's a thrill. It's also a little sad, because of the state of the world. And, there, in another life, we would have gone to festivals and, but to have it be out there in such a way is, and right away is a thrill and surreal. And I still don't know what to make of it.
Right. Because like you said, everything is all just so.
But I hope people see in theaters, and I hope, of course, they stay safe at the same time and keep their distance. I don't expect overflowing capacity. I think you'll be all right. But
And just before I go, I just have to tell you this. I loved your character's name, Abe Applebaum. When I was a teenager, a man named Abe Applebaum seriously
Come
hit
on.
my car.
Wow.
Hit my car. I got out, just to be upset like usual. But he was like about 85 years old, was, disheveled and everything. So I wound up comforting him, like, don't worry, Mr. Applebaum, you can hit my car anytime you want. And just when I heard your character's name, it was like, oh, great.
Wow. Far out. What a great fictional name that, my goodness.
Right.
Lovely name. Well, maybe that's the sequel is, I don't know if it's time travel or just that he's older. We'll figure it out. But
sounds good. Well, Adam, thank you very much. Great talking with you, and you take care.
Okay, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thanks so much. Evan, great to see you. How's it going?
It's going well. How's it going with you?
Doing as fine as I can.
Good.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I really enjoyed watching the movie. And what was so different is, of course, you hear the title, The Kid Detective. So I didn't look anything up because you're thinking, okay, well, Adam Brody's probably going to play the guy who's teaching some kid how to be a detective. Whoa, did I take a different curve. But oh my goodness, it was just interesting, and what a great character study.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, and we always knew that there was that potential with the title, but for me, it's one of the things that makes it kind of fun. It was just the fact that it's not necessarily what you expect when you first hear it.
Right, because of course, he starts out. He's the young kid who's doing the detective stuff. Then, when he becomes an adult, it's kind of like things went a little south. But then, fortunately, Sophie shows up and kind of gets his juices going again.
Yeah, it's almost like a miracle that he's presented with this real case after like 20 years of solving nonsense. But again, what works about it is her character is supposed to be kind of like a product of the past when he was someone who was, revered and celebrated. And she kind of reflects the innocence of that sort of former era in that community. And so, she's the one who brings him this incredibly serious case because she's the only one who could actually expect that this guy would solve it. She's the only one innocent enough to believe that this guy could actually figure it out.
And it is a great, who done it. I'm, guaranteed nobody's going to say, "Oh, I've had it all figured out." No, you won't.
Okay,
No, you
good.
won't.
Very good.
And also, like, the people who you had in it, of course, like we mentioned, Adam and Sophie, but the two people who played his parents, I mean, they were just hilarious. I mean, just with, the way they were treating their son.
They're amazing. Yeah, that's Wendy Crewson and Jonathan Whitaker, and performing, I would say, a very exaggerated version of my own parents and my own relationship, where just kind of constantly checking in and maybe a little too invested in like their adult son, but they have good reason because he's not in great shape.
Right, right. Yeah, because like you said, you see him, as the adult, he's kind of, disheveled, and just, after even getting into a fight, he's got the scar, that's kind of like there throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, that is kind of a convention of the detective genre, right? That the detective always gets his butt kicked somewhere at some point and like has, either a scar or a bruise or a bandage, on display throughout the entire movie. We just got it out of the way early within like the first 5 minutes.
like Humphrey Bogart movies and different things like that, where he'd always get beat up and then, have that thing with him for the rest of the time.
Yeah, that's why they're so hard boiled. They just keep getting, hit.
Right, right. Well, Evan, like I said, enjoy it. I'll make sure, to get the word out to people. And thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it too. All right.
All right, take care.
You too. See ya.
Okay.